Simon & Schuster AudioWorks presents Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Hello. I'd just like to say off the bat that Max just made a very insensitive joke off camera about the second assassination attempt of former President Donald Trump.
Can you paraphrase that for us real quick, if you can?
Well, I'd like to first off say that we're dissolving Dead Ensigns. This will be the final episode.
Right.
I'm distancing myself from Max. His joke completely blindsided me.
Yeah.
I was not expecting it, and frankly, I think it's unprofessional, and it's not the kind of energy that we want to put out in the world.
Okay, yeah.
So we will be dissolving it. This will be the final episode. Max will be leaving. We'll be shooting him out of a cannon into the ocean.
A t-shirt cannon.
A big t-shirt cannon.
Specifically. Held by a
into
giant.
the ocean. Held by a giant. Correct. And he will assumedly drown in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
Sharks, I guess, because Trump hates sharks or something or whatever. He had like a thing where he was
You're digging your own grave
obsessed
here,
with sharks.
You gotta let it go. You gotta stop commenting on Trump.
Oh.
But to paraphrase the joke,
keep his name out of your fucking mouth. That's what you're saying to
paraphrase the joke. He said that these are his words, not mine. I don't condone this. I'm just saying it for clarity for the viewer, so they are aware why we're making this decision as a pair. But we both decided this was for the best. Even Max being fired out the cannon, he actually suggested the t-shirt cannon and giant himself.
I did say that a second ago, yes.
He said, and again, I quote, "It's strange how all of these conservatives love guns, but they can't seem to hit anything." And I'd just like to say again, not my words, those are Max's. They are inappropriate.
Yeah, true.
We wish all the best for former President Trump, and we're hoping for we don't want to win this way, you know. We want to beat him in the battle place of ideas.
Yeah.
In the marketplace of ideas and ideals.
Yeah.
And to beat him this way by having him shot while he's golfing at Mar-a-Lago, it's not
it's not the best, you know.
It's not
what we want to do is create a monopoly of ideas on the marketplace of ideas, and then control it fully. That's what we want to do.
We want to monopolize the marketplace of ideas.
Yeah.
With our ideas.
With our ideas. Which is totally fair
our
and square.
ideas is who they're coming for. That's what we want.
Totally fair and square, and no one can tell us that. Because, like,
when you're making a trip to the marketplace, we want you saying, "I could go for some Dead Ensign ideas right now." And those ideas do not involve assassination.
Yeah, exactly.
Of a former president.
We want you to go into the into the store, and it's all Dead Ensigns. Anything. Like, you can't basically pick anything else but the Dead Ensigns.
I want you to go down
shelves.
Rows and rows of shelves, all stocked with Dead Ensign brand ideas.
Yeah, exactly.
He's really big too, as well.
What, the ideas?
No, Trump. He's like a big target, right?
Oh my god.
You would think. He's a big guy. Because he is also a little tall. I don't think he's not like short, is he?
He's not like Baron tall, right? Baron.
He's not like Baron tall. Baron's tall, like a horrible, strange Scandinavian giant.
Yes.
But I guess not just the tallness, but also like wide.
Yeah.
He is like perfectly. He's perfectly target shaped.
I think it's because I feel like it's been it's been unfortunate because he doesn't have a human silhouette, you know.
It throws people off.
He throws people off because you know when he stands and he's got that pelvic tilt forward. So people see his legs and they think, oh, I just need to aim above his legs. No, you can't. Because all of his torso is shifted to the front, you know, so that's what I think that's what throws people off a lot of the time, you know. All these two people, like which
I don't condone
like,
him being shot, but they had some real good like open times to do it. It seems.
Yeah, Maybe honestly, like it seems a lot of the times, Al Capone, he was being jumped a lot of times, and he was coming out of them like
Rasputin.
Rasputin. They had to shoot him like
they
20
gave
times.
him damn poison, and he was like, huh?
Well, who else was like that? That was like, what is it called?
Maybe
Castro.
Maybe they do have some kind of divine blessing on them.
Honestly, yeah.
I don't know.
We should worship them, I feel. In a way.
No.
Pantheons. We should build pantheons to these people,
The failed assassinees.
Mm-hmm.
The failed hits, I guess.
Yeah.
Temple of failed hits.
Temple of failed. That's like a new religious, like a what are they called? Before organized religion, like
pagan.
Paganism, paganist like religion type.
I was gonna say it's a new podcast where we talk about assassinations throughout history. The Temple of Failed Hits.
That's a pretty good one.
Bro, you listened to the newest episode of Temple of Failed Hits?
Yeah.
They talked about Shinzo Abe.
Well,
I know that was a successful one.
Okay,
probably talk. I feel like there's a lot more successful ones to talk about than failed ones.
Yeah.
Theodore Roosevelt. Remember, he got shot on stage and he tanked it.
Yeah, exactly.
He triggered. He put on his mitigation.
Reagan.
Before it hit him. Reagan too.
Pope John Paul II. He got shot, and
sure.
It did kind of immobilize him for the rest of his life, but technically it was an unsuccessful attempt on his life.
Not John Lennon, unfortunately. You would have thought because he's so lanky and thin that he could have shifted.
Yeah, he just where am I aiming? All his limbs are all over the place.
Right, exactly.
Exactly. It's but that's the thing. It's,
if we did do that podcast, we could probably get John Hinckley Jr. on it because he's out now. He's been out of prison for 2 years.
That's true, and
he's doing music and stuff.
Yeah, and he
makes music.
Sing us a song on the podcast, maybe just for us.
Yeah.
Get him to do an intro. We could hire him to do an intro for us.
That would be kind of awesome. That would be a huge selling point.
That would be a huge selling point.
This podcast is about assassinations, and our theme song is by John Hinckley Jr. Is he Junior? I keep saying Junior, but he might not be Junior. Yeah, I feel like he's John Hinckley Jr.
Senior? No,
he's not senior.
Yeah,
I don't think he's had a child. John.
If it comes to assassinations, Ben, where would you, if you were carrying a gun?
John Hinckley Jr.
I was from all the media that we watched recently. I was thinking, where would you, if you were strapped, where would you carry a gun? Would you have an underarm sling? Would you put it in the back, behind your belt, or would you put it in the front? Where would you carry your gun if you were strapped?
I don't want to give out that information.
Oh,
chance that it can be used against me in the future.
That's true.
Max, I'd just like you to have a look at John Hinckley Jr.'s Wikipedia page. Because there's something very funny about the sidebar having all these informations about his attempted assassination and his charges and stuff, and then right at the very bottom is YouTube information. Here's his channel, this is when it started, this is what he does, and so many subscribers he has.
Yeah, well,
Let's go to John.
Is kind of the only case of true insanity defense sort of thing, where he was he is genuinely insane.
Mm-hmm. He wanted to impress Jodie Foster or whatever, right?
Attempted on July 17th, 2024, following the attempted assassination of Donald Trump, Hinckley tweeted, "Violence is not the way to go. Give peace a chance."
True.
A voice of reason.
That to me says that he'll love to be on a podcast. He'll be there with us because we agree. Well, we said earlier in this episode, we want to beat these people. These dogs. We want to beat them in the marketplace of ideas.
Yeah. Underhandedly, but in the marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
But
still beating them there.
Another thing that's underhanded is the thing that you're listening to is Dead Ensigns, which is a podcast that's Star Trek themed, but it's underhanded because we're not doing Star Trek, kind of.
We don't even have
not
to
as often
anymore.
Yeah.
Fuck Star Trek. It's Tulsa King themed because Tulsa King is back.
I forgot. But yeah.
This is Tulsa King Season 2, Episode 1.
Yeah, this is me, Max, and this is Ben.
And this is Tulsa King.
You're obsessed. You repeated Tulsa King
I
6
know.
times.
Here's the thing. I know I enjoy Tulsa King so genuinely and honestly because yesterday I was replying to some stuff on Discord and I was like, Tulsa King was still fresh in my mind, and I went to the GIF keyboard, typed in Tulsa King, and I just looked at him and I was like, I love this man, you know? I was looking at it and I was thinking, I think Dwight Manfredi might be like my Scrimblo, you know? He's like a Scrimblo to me.
Okay, well, you know.
I see him and I'm like, what a cutie. I love him so much.
You're gonna write like fan fiction
No,
about
I'm gonna draw artwork.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Well, you know. Yeah. What else has this director made? Is this all his episodes? It's him? No, it's a different director, so it doesn't matter. No, it's just I was opening up the episodes just so I have a reference. Basically.
Back in the saddle.
Mm-hmm.
The Tulsa King is back in the
finally.
saddle. He wasn't in a saddle in this episode, but he is back in the saddle.
But there was a saddle at some point because there was a horse.
It's interesting that it's called Back in the Saddle, and there's a scene where he goes to his horse and stuff, but he doesn't get in the saddle
because he doesn't care about horses. He was like that in the first season. He saw that horse roaming the streets, and then he was like, "I want the horse," and then they were like, "We're gonna turn this horse into meat," and he was like, "I'll buy that horse."
I forgot about that. It's just wandering the streets of Tulsa, and they're like, "Oh, there's that horse. There's a local famous horse because it's always wandering around.
Yeah,
let's turn it into glue." And he was like, "Oh, it's a free spirit. You can't do that."
Yeah,
I'll take him. I'll put him. He's gonna love me.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He takes like some girl from some random cafe, and she's like, "I love horses." And he's like, "Do you want to work on my wandering horse?" And she's like, "Yeah, I would love to."
So that's what he did all throughout the first season, was meeting a random person and just being like, "I'm gonna hire you to do some stupid shit for me. That's your job now, is to work for me doing some shit."
Yeah,
and even in this season, it keeps going. He's still building up his crew.
He's building up his crew, and I can't
He's got
wait.
a heavy now. He's got a heavy.
Imagine there's a guy that like really wants to be in the crew, so he like tries to like make situations to make himself useful to Manfredi, but it's always something different. He has to like, you know, he's like, "Oh, we already have a heavy. Oh fuck, I'm going to do something else."
He's always just like a little bit too late.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, he's like really good at driving."
I've been bulking
like,
up the entire time between season 1 and season 2. I've been bulking up and getting huge. I can't wait. I'm going to be the heavy in Tulsa for the King of Tulsa. Yeah. And then he turns up and they've just hired like the big redneck guy or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's like, "Fuck."
Yeah.
Fuck.
Was a janitor. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna become Tulsa's king janitor," you know. But it's still part of the crew, you know.
Sure.
It's an important job.
As long as Dwight Manfredi talks to you, then you're in.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like this season opens with him, he's getting arrested for trying to bribe the ATF lady last season with the cryptocurrency that he got from the evil Irish guy.
The evil biker gang.
And the evil Irish biker gang that was selling nitrous. And
the Bitcoin millions from nitrous.
Currency.
Yeah.
He had a lot of cryptocurrency, and now it's all Dwight's.
Yeah.
And he's being put in jail, not prison. There's a difference. He's being processed. And he meets a guy who's getting bullied in the cell.
Yeah,
this guy is as is, I guess, the target audience for this show. He's like a late 40s, early 50s guy,
businessman, like
kind of like middle class, you know.
Yeah,
and he's getting hassled by some young thug.
With a fashionable haircut.
And the Tulsa King, he's calm, he's collected. I feel like they really modeled him after, like, the Chad Wojak in a way. He feels like the perfect embodiment of what people mean when they use that in stupid images
honestly,
and shit, you know?
a little bit, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I have to admit.
He's calm, he's collected. There's always somebody else freaking out, but he's like, you know.
Yeah, I'm strategizing here. That's why they call me General.
I'm sitting here, I'm sitting back and I'm listening and I'm taking information in, and I'm going to use it later.
Yeah.
He's sitting there and the guy is screaming. He's like, "Yo, I'll make you my bitch in this jail. I'm the king of this jail."
Yeah, which is like the worst place to be a king of, honestly. But yeah,
this guy, he's gonna go to prison because they got him dead to rights. He got given $12.5 million for a grant for wind energy to make some turbines, and that perked up Manfredi's ears because he's like, $12.5 million. Seems like a good racket.
Money
from the government, going clean, maybe? We'll see. Yeah. Clean in both ways, both in energy.
Honestly, yeah, true.
And in business.
Mm-hmm.
But it's actually sort of semi-clean. It's like a murkiness to it.
Yeah. On paper, it's clean. But morally, it's kind of like,
Yeah. They're still kind of getting one over on the big man, government, on the man.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy, he's like, they're definitely gonna send me to prison, and they're gonna eat up people like me. You know, I'm like a little weak.
I'm not gonna survive.
Guy. I can't do this. Why did I gamble all that? Why did I gamble away 12?
Yeah, because he gambled. He took a grant from the government, got away. He would have probably gotten away with it if he didn't gamble it away. That's the kind of thing I think that they're saying up.
So, but Dwight gives him some pointers, you know? He says, somebody asks you to pass the salt. If you pass them the salt, what does he say? He says in like 2 weeks, they're going to have you wearing a dress, painting your fingernails, and
calling you bitch or something. Yeah.
So what you got to do is, how about I pass the salt through your fucking head? And that just lets them know that, like, you're crazy, you're tough. You're not going to take any shit from anybody.
Yeah, it's about not letting them push your boundaries. That's what it's about, you know.
And he's like, but I'm not strong though. And he's like, well, hire somebody who is strong then.
Yeah, but I gambled all that money away. I don't have any money. Well, we're sorry. We're not gonna.
No, but he's still got that stature. He must have some money saved, you know.
I guess maybe. Honestly, that's the thing. That kind of
the guy who's ranting and raving and going crazy in the jail cell. Just to show off how strong he is and how much he knows what he's talking about, Dwight gets up, walks over to him. Guy's like, "Fuck do you want?" Bam! One punch. He's on the ground.
Yeah, one punch.
He's lying there unconscious. Guard comes over. What happened to him? Dwight says, "He's tired. He's taking a nap." And the guard is like,
he smirks.
Manfredi, you're all right.
Yeah. And he says afterwards, he says, "Silence is gold," or something like that. Or something like that, yeah. And
that's our opener. We're back, dude.
We're back. A year, I think, or something like that.
It's been like a year and a little bit, maybe.
Let
me see.
Yeah.
I can probably look right now. Cause I have
the beautiful thing.
The last episode came out beginning of January last year.
It's like, when you think about it, Tulsa King is a little bit of like a Star Trek, you know? He's the captain. He's got his crew. All of them fill different roles on a bridge, which is the bar of the casino bar on the Native American land that they have, you know? And
instead of doing research and helping societies, they're selling nitrous.
They're selling nitrous.
And they have a weed dispensary that launches
which is a replicator.
Yeah. True, it is essentially a replicator of weed.
Yeah, of weed, specifically one item.
But there's not too much to talk about in this episode. We get a return of all our characters. We kind of get a nice little setup of where they're all at. I think most notable, the couple notable ones, the little guy, the little Italian guy who was in his crew that I forgot about. His wife and kids have left him, so he's like pissed off. Yeah. He's kind of annoyed about Dwight because he's kind of stumbled in and gone, "You're doing mobster stuff for me, even though you're in witness protection and you got away from it all."
Yeah.
And that made his wife and kids leave him, so now he's fucked. The guy that left the original New York team, he's getting hassled by the original New York team. They killed his buddy. They called him up. They said, you're a traitor, yada yada yada.
Yeah,
we're killing your friend right now. And he's
Yeah.
like, fuck, my friend.
Yeah, and then the guy he gives him the phone and he goes, "I'm your friend, dying," and then bang,
I'm dying, I'm your friend. So you got a little bit of a setup of like, did he make the right decision? Who knows? So we got a brand new weed dispensary. It's
Yeah, it
like
looks
Willy
futuristic.
Wonka's weed factory in there.
Yeah. It like previously, you know, it was the previous dispensary. You looked like a kind of Enterprise style bridge. You know, it was very utilitarian.
Yeah.
But this one looks like Brave New World. You know,
I hope in the
sleek.
last season involves them having to go back to the old dispensary and use it, and they turn the lights on, and it's all kind of dusty, but it all looks like it used to. And you're like, they're home. They're finally back to the roots.
Yeah, exactly.
After all this time.
But we have to get like, you know, couple of more seasons of Tulsa King.
This is like a season 8. Tulsa
like
King,
more
like
and
finale.
multiple series will have like Tulsa King, you know, Chicago.
Tulsa King, the Chicago chapters. It's like a season and a half
Yeah.
where he's in Chicago, and it crossover with the bear.
Yeah,
They go to the bear restaurant.
Jesus. Okay. Yeah.
It's great. He gives him some advice. Jeremy Allen White's character is like, I'm just not making any money in my restaurant.
Yeah.
He's
get
like,
the
restaurant's pretty good business for laundering money. And he's like, yeah, we've been there. Because in the first season, he finds out that they were selling drugs during the pandemic to keep the restaurant afloat, remember?
Yeah.
But some people call me TV Nostradamus because I just know so much.
Do they?
People call me the Ozymandias of TV sometimes.
I guess.
I just have so many amazing ideas about
Yeah.
crossovers, and
They call you
things.
they give you, instead of Midas touch, they go Ben's touch because you turn
I
things
have
into
the TV
gold.
touch. I turn pilot scripts into gold.
But then the thing is that it's like there has to be like because Midas, you know, there has to be like a bad aspect of it. So what's the bad aspect of being able to turn all these ideas into gold?
They're too good.
They're too good. So
They're
they
too
don't
good,
get picked
people.
up.
They get picked up, but they're so good. Everybody like pretends I didn't even work on it. So like, I made this good.
Yeah,
I was the one that made this good.
You get shafted basically. out of all of them.
But like Dwight, I'm a stoic. I take a step back. I
you're
have
stoic.
my hands together, and I say, "How about it?"
Yeah, you're like you turn the other cheek and I go, I have more other better ideas. You know, this
I
is
got
just
more
one
than this.
idea.
I shit this one out. I don't even need it. You can scramble and claim my shit if you want.
It's
but
covered in doo-doo and
I'll have
piss.
more gold. I'll have more gold by the afternoon.
Yeah, exactly. And then someone else steals that too, and you're like, fuck.
Part of the business.
Fuck.
I'm still the one that takes home the consultancy checks.
Yeah, honestly.
right.
Yep.
But other than that, this episode, we get us set up for, I guess, our next major villain and his lackey.
Thrasher or something? Thresher.
Who is an oil and weed man. The two most profitable businesses, oil and weed.
Both are vices. I get it, because we
true.
can't get rid of plastic. It's here forever.
Very true.
Yeah.
But so Dwight, they go to this fundraiser, Dwight and all of his boys. I mean, all of his boys, even ones that we didn't think would come back, like the security guard from the
We get a
weed store in the first
makeover.
season.
We get a makeover.
We get a makeover scene.
Yeah, and
They do a
get fun-
makeover.
He
It's
puts
awesome, man.
one of them. What is he called? Bodie. He puts on the Sergeant Pepper's Lonely
He
Hearts.
does. He
Band.
gets like a Sergeant Pepper uniform on because he's
Yeah.
like the Bohemian weed guy.
Yeah,
but he's
yeah,
also
of
like a
course.
Silicon Valley guy
Mm-hmm,
because he was in Silicon Valley.
Because he was
the
in
TV
Silicon
show.
Valley,
but
yes.
also he's like a crypto bro.
Yeah, and he
So
plays nerds, technological nerds,
He
in
does
every
play a lot
single
of, like, nerds.
piece of media he was
he
ever
plays a
in.
lot of nerds.
Yeah.
Even in Party Down, he was like the guy who wanted to be a script writer, but he's like really too up his own ass and stuff, and like a piece of shit. So
Yeah.
he's like, oh, I'm the only smart one writing smart stories, but his stories suck. Anyway, yeah. But we got all the boys are there. The security guard seems like he's going to be like more of a main character now, maybe part of the crew.
Yeah,
even though it doesn't seem like he's doing security or anything, he's just kind of chilling, I guess.
Yeah, he's just like, I don't know, he's a filler. He fills in.
You know what he is? Because they've got that like recording booth in the new weed store. I bet he runs the podcast.
He runs the weed podcast, the Tulsa King.
He runs the Tulsa King
weed podcast.
I really hope that becomes like a bit of a plot, because they showed off the recording booth there.
There was one there. Yeah.
I really hope that they like have a podcast or some shit. That would be so awesome.
Yeah. And it should be real. They should record it.
Yeah, it's like every episode comes out, they're like they have scenes where they're like recording it, and then 2 days later on like Spotify, the podcast, the recording of it comes out.
Yeah, exactly. And we get to listen to it.
And we listen to it live every week, and we talk about it. If we talk over it, we pretend that we're on the podcast talking to Dwight and Bodhi, I guess.
Sylvester Stallone would not come in, I don't think, to make a podcast.
If they record it while they're shooting.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
So they're like filming it at the same time, and then they use the audio to make the actual podcast.
Yeah. We get another like rant in this episode when the general comes into Bodhi's office, and
because they've got
it's a magical place. It's a magical place to point out the societal ironies,
all of the
know.
strange like little things oxymoron stuff that happens. You know, all the little paradoxes that are like, well, this doesn't make any sense. The weed store, because they got a lounge where you can smoke, they now have to file for special insurance in case anybody gets too high and then gets hurt after they leave.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, this is bullshit, because it's like, if a moron comes in and smokes and then leaves and does something moronic, they're held responsible?
Yeah.
Exactly. Excuse me?
That's the
I think the real moron here is the guy in government who put this in. You know?
Exactly. Yeah, he doesn't understand how weed works.
He doesn't understand how responsibility works, apparently.
Yeah, individual responsibility, you know? How...
If you come into a store like this and you smoke a bunch of weed and then you leave and you get so anxious and insane you kill yourself or something, why is that their fault?
Yeah, exactly.
It's stupid, bro. Come on. And Dwight is right. We need to sort this out.
But I think I genuinely don't want... It's a bit weird, because I think it's like the point of the weird insurance is that because your facility is filled with weed smoke. I think that's the point, and you can randomly get high by just walking into a place. I think it is a bit of a hazard, you know?
But that's still... man, come on, stop making excuses, because at the end of the day, if you're going into a weed store, whether you're smoking or not, and you end up getting high, it's like... Why did you go into the weed store, buddy?
That's true. Huh? That's true. Yeah.
And now you're going and getting in your car and driving home and driving off a bridge into a river?
Yeah.
Because you're stupid? You went into a weed store? Come on.
I shouldn't have. That is true. That's true. Yeah. I take it back. I'm sorry.
I liked how in this scene, after Dwight was talking about how stupid it is that they have to worry about this, Bodhi said, yes, I agree, and that's why I'm voting on Prop 792 in Tulsa in the upcoming vote, so we can get stuff like this stricken.
Yeah.
And that businesses, we don't have the government breathing down businesses' necks to be responsible for people who come in and use their business.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And I agree.
Yeah, and they have a robot. They have a robot too, which is interesting.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Paulie.
Yeah, exactly, because Sylvester Stallone
Happy birthday, Bodhi.
Happy birthday, General.
Happy birthday, Dwight. Happy birthday, Dwight. Happy birthday, Tulsa King. Happy birthday, Dwight. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we got they will go to like this event. Thrash is there. They're trying. Dwight's trying to be respectful.
Dwight wants to get into his good books, because he's like, if you want to work in energy and weed, which they're already doing both of those anyway, you got to get in good with this guy, because he's got all the connections. He's running everything, all the weed and the oil and everything to do with energy and weed. He's got it. But it turns out he knows about Dwight already. and he thinks he's horning in on his game. He doesn't want him over here coming down from New York City and trying to muscle in on his weed and energy game. No, come on. Are you stupid?
Yeah, I'm
here,
the big
Dwight.
guy, you know?
And he's maybe a little bit racist towards Italians. I think he might be an Italian racist.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a specific term for those.
No,
so.
But I mean, you know, it's something that happened when a lot of Italians emigrated to America. There were people that were, I mean, racist at the end of the day.
Yeah, definitely.
You know? Yeah. So it's definitely, I think that's going to be a plot point. He throws in a "you people" when he's referring to Manfredi, but it's a little bit vague. You kind of think, is he talking about the mob or is he talking about Italian Americans?
True.
No idea. Could go either way. Maybe we'll find out in the future.
Yeah.
But either way, Dwight's upset. Dwight's annoyed. This guy sucks. He leaves the party. But then, at the very end, the little sting, Thresher, he calls up the guy.
Yeah, I know. It's like a sting. He's just like, a guy.
He's like a guy. It sounds like he works in Tulsa he's like
associated with the mob in a way, but not part of it. It's like weird. I don't know what to think of that.
It's at the end of the day, he's trying to goad him into attacking Dwight because Dwight is going in on his territory too. So he's trying to say like, why aren't you doing anything about this Dwight guy? He's trying to muscle in on your business.
Yeah, he's trying to
in your
start
territory. He's on your turf.
Thrasher is a real shit Thrasher.
He's a bit of a shit thresher, a thresher.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and he's trying to start shit within the mob. You know,
he is.
And I think he's going to realize he made a mistake.
He is when he finds out, because that's the thing. I bet this motherfucker hasn't read The Art of War.
Yeah. When
exactly.
And Manfredi had 20 years or 30 years of reading the one book, which
he read for 30 years. He read Art of War, Journey to the West, The Romance of the Three Kingdoms, War and Peace. It had war in the name, so he read it.
Exactly.
All's Quiet on the Western Front. You know, anything that was about war, he read it just so he could like learn a bit more, and also the law because he knows a lot.
Played
about
Call
the
of
law.
Duty too on his little Xbox that he was in his cell. I like this game.
It gives me an impression of the outside.
The World War II. But it's like a war outside. I'm
like
safe here.
War.
But
so already Afghanistan.
But the guy is like, he's trying to get him to bite at General Manfredi's business. And then that's the end of the episode. It was mostly just a setup for what this season is going to be. And how many episodes was there in this?
There's 10 episodes this season. First season was 9. So it's 10. It's like a Star Trek season, bro. You're right.
So much material.
It's like a season of a modern Star Trek. But we also had a scene where Dwight goes and visits the ATF agent, the lady he has sex with in like the first episode, who turns out to work for the ATF. So it's a bit of a cat and mouse, you know. She's after him, and he's after her. But he sneaks into her house at night. She gets home from work, and she's like, "Oh God, he's hit to kill me." But he's not, because he's an upstanding guy. He's not going to hurt a woman. You know? But he warns her. He's like, I feel betrayed.
Because you had sex with me specifically, you know.
He felt used.
Yeah, he felt used. So he was like, you know.
Sex.
Yeah, because
now you're using me to further your career.
Yeah, that's true, you know. And I gave you all them bitcoins from the Nazis, you know. How dare you do this to me?
I gave you all the Nazi bitcoin.
Yeah, but she's scared, but he kind of reassures her that he's not going to do anything unless she does something, you know? And then he goes back to the car. Yeah, back up. He goes back to the car, and it turns out he had a gun on him.
He had a gun all the time.
Yeah.
He puts in the glove compartment. His friend, the driver,
he's
the first guy he meets coming to Tulsa, who he hired.
He's like,
I don't want to be an accessory. What?
He's Luffy. Dwight the General is Luffy. He just
is kind of
meets
Luffy,
people, and he just hires them for his crew.
He is kind of like the Italian American Monkey D. Luffy.
Monkey D. General.
Monkey D. Dwight. You know, I never, despite loving One Piece so much, I never made that connection. But you're so right.
That's true.
Every time it's paced in such a way that it's like every time he needs a specific guy, he finds that specific guy, and he wins them over. Because a lot of the time he's like, "I'll pay you a lot of money to do this," but they're like, "I don't want to. It's not about the money." Yeah, but they win him over, or he wins them over with his personality and his charm, his smarts.
Yes. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to see.
It's very true. It is kind of like, maybe that's why I connect to this show so much.
That's
because
true.
It's American One Piece.
It's American One Piece.
It's the live action One Piece adaptation
that we wanted. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, you blow. Your mind is blown now. You're
I'm
in
just
shock.
trying to. It's more. It's not so much the correlation between the two pieces of media, but more how it definitely must be why I like it. Just never clicked to me. That's why I like the show so much.
Yeah.
That's what's got me hooked.
I can't wait. Yeah. He ate the Dwight the general fruit, you know, and
he did eat the general fruit. Now he's got perfect strategy. He can use the power of perfect strategy to plan out
exactly. And
come out on top.
Bodhi ate the Bitcoin fruit. Now he's the
crypto fruit.
Crypto fruit.
Yeah, not everybody's got a fruit though. That's the
not
important
everybody.
thing.
Yeah,
some people have a fruit. Not everybody though. Not everybody.
Yeah. But yeah, we're looking forward to more episodes and actual moving forward of what they're gonna do and what sort of current events they're gonna comment on in Tulsa King.
I'm so excited, man.
It's like the Star Trek of our time where they comment on things in society.
Because I feel like, bro, there's this season runs up like past the election. I think. There's a non-zero chance that we get like a nice little bit of dialogue about the election, the upcoming election.
Maybe,
you know, maybe one episode's gonna have a little running plot thing, like a little subplot or something, where everybody's talking about who they're voting for.
Yeah,
and
but they're not saying the names.
Here's the thing: I don't think Dwight would vote for Trump. I don't think he would vote Democratic, but I don't think he'd vote for Trump. He's probably
honestly,
he's a conservative. I think
he's a JFK. So
he's like socially liberal, fiscally conservative. You know?
True, yeah, and nobody fits that. But yeah, it's you know, that'll be interesting. They like try to say they say who they vote for, and it's clearly. Like the implication is there who they're talking about, but they don't say the name. That would be
Bodhi is like, I always vote green, and then they're like, you're throwing your vote away. A third party. He's like, gotta vote green, and then he takes a big puff on a very large joint. That's good. True. That's true. No, he would probably vote libertarian. Actually,
yeah, that is true. Yeah,
no,
but they have like a conversation where they're like, we could vote conservative, but we doing this green stuff, this like green energy stuff. So we need to vote Democratic, so we can
make the money with wind energy,
so we can get the subsidies that they would.
It's a good point because Trump is always talking about how wind turbines kill people and stuff,
and then they kill birds and stuff, and how they make his golf courses look bad or something. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like wind turbines look kind of majestic, honestly, in the distance. You see like
cool.
You see them in the distance, and they're like, wow, you know, but they be moving, you know.
Why can't we put them like in the sky? You know, like higher up.
on like, what would they build them on? Would it be like
big
on
balloon or something?
On a balloon and like that's true. But I don't know. To lift up that much, that amount of weight, it would require a very big balloon. So, you know, I don't know if it's worth, you know.
I think that's what we'll see Dwight figuring out.
And there would be probably like a horrible accident where a plane flies into one of them. and then
He'll
we
be
don't
like...
get... It's like, you get the Zeppelin. What was the Zeppelin?
Hindenburg or whatever.
Hindenburg, and then nobody can fucking fly Zeppelins anymore. Like, come on.
This is what Dwight will figure out in this season.
Because the guy was like, oh, the humanity. Like, come on.
He's
Stop
going to
being
be
a
like...
baby.
I like wind turbines, but I don't like how they spoil the view.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they're going to be like, well, what can you do, Dwight? We're trying to make money with green wind energy. We need wind turbines. He's like,
true.
Where if we put them somewhere people aren't looking, like a sky? And they're going to be like you. They're going to be like, that don't make any sense. You're going to need so many balloons. You know how heavy those things are? And he's going to be like,
and then he points at the nitrous canisters they have, which don't
all the
float,
leftover
but
nitrous.
for some reason they just make it work in the show.
He says, figure it out, and then they're like, this is crazy, this doesn't make... But then they do figure out, and they're like, fuck, he was right.
He was right all along, yeah, like Star Trek.
This is why we need thinkers, like Dwight. Yeah. Like Dwight. They sit back, they take it all in, They don't speak out of turn, they don't run their mouth, they don't say anything stupid. True. Once they've taken it all in, they process, they think, they come up with the one thing that needs to be said, and then they're done.
They're done.
Yep.
And people will push back, but then they'll realize that he was right from the beginning. It's
because they have smaller brains than him.
Jesus Christ.
So they're thinking, he's stupid, it's not making any sense, he's not saying anything. He doesn't need to say anything because he already knows. He's processed it all, and he's got the one piece of information that's necessary from it. The one piece.
He's got the one piece.
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to more. I can't wait to see what happens. I'm hoping that he gets some other crazy animal, maybe like a tiger or something. Like a sidekick tiger.
Of course, he saves it from somebody. He doesn't like buy one. He saves it from some like.
There's like an exotic pet trader thing.
Thrasher has like a fucking tiger or something. Yeah. And he goes like, "What the fuck?"
They're like, save this Thrasher feels so confident because he has a tiger, and it makes him feel strong. Well, what did we take his tiger from him?
Yeah.
What did we make that tiger our tiger? And he lives in the bar. And he eats peanuts.
He eats the nuts from the little ball next to the beer. I feel like a lion would be more appropriate. I feel like you would have a lion.
Lions are harder.
What do you mean harder?
Lions are harder to like deal with, I think.
Okay, I guess. All right.
There's a huge tiger trade in America.
All right, so I guess, yeah.
Makes more sense.
As we know, because of Tiger King, the documentary.
Exactly, because of that awful documentary.
Yeah, but it's a good show. We'll continue watching. We'll comment on it probably every week now because we're cursed like that now.
This is the process.
Yeah.
So we hope you're watching Tulsa King along with us. And
absolutely.
Let us know, what did you think of this episode? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Email us deadensigns@gmail.com or leave a comment on YouTube to let us know what you thought of Tulsa King.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a Dwight the General in your life? You should get one, honestly.
If you don't, you should be the one.
True.
You should You should learn from this show.
Fill that space in,
Learn to sit back and listen, because not everything needs a response.
Mm-hmm.
Use your time wisely, correctly. Don't waste it.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. That's what Dwight and Tulsa King is all about.
Now that we covered Tulsa King, we also watched some other garbage, right?
We watched a lot of movies this weekend.
Yeah.
We were hanging out and we watched a lot of stuff.
We watched some garbage.
Let's go through the list one by one. Let's go one by one. Initially,
we watched Borderlands.
No. You're jumping over the 40 minutes of Jupiter Ascending we watched.
Oh, I haven't.
We were scrolling around and we thought, isn't this supposed to be like a very bad Wachowski film? Like, I know they often get a lot of flack, their films.
For this movie, yeah.
No, just in general, people are like, Speed Racer,
right.
what the hell?
Okay.
Cloud Atlas, long, boring. Sense 8, that shit was stupid.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one that I think even hardcore Wachowski heads will not defend. It seems to be the one that I think everybody through and through is like, that one's a real stinker.
Yeah.
With Mila Kunis, who's like a space princess, and Channing Tatum, who is like
space dog. Yeah.
a dog man or something.
Mm-hmm.
They get in this. The point when we stopped was when Sean Bean got introduced and all the bees and stuff, and
He's
they
a
were
bee
like,
man. Yeah.
bees naturally know a queen royalty, and they all follow what Mila Kunis does because they naturally know that she's a queen. It wasn't very good.
Yeah.
We turned it off. It was boring.
It was
because we wanted to watch something else. What was it, Max?
It was Borderlands, the newest game movie, I guess, right?
This is the best Eli Roth film I've ever seen.
Well, it's not very good. It's actually horrible, honestly.
Whereas Eli Roth films, you maybe usually get like a 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10 maybe.
Yeah.
Because they're very schlocky, and it feels clear that he doesn't really... It's not so much that I don't think he knows how to make a movie. I think he embraces making bad movies. I think he makes really pulpy, schlocky films, because that's what he enjoys making, which is like, hey, fair enough. I think they're bad, I don't want to watch them, but hey, more power to you. This one is like his best film at like a 3 out of 10 maybe. Maybe a 2. An upper 2.
This has 4.5 on IMDb, which is too much, honestly, in my opinion. Humble opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a horrible, just kind of very generic action film.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing Borderlands about is that just the aesthetic, I guess, and this, like, just a vagueness of locations, I guess.
The imagery, I guess.
The imagery, the thing about it is that it's just, like, in general, I think I said it while we were watching, it's like, I don't think, how can you make a Borderlands movie, honestly, with the main characters especially? Because even the Tales from the Borderlands were smart enough to go, all right, we'll take the world, but we're going to write our own story in it because the main story is not a story. So we're going to...
I mean, they did essentially do that. They just tried to rewrite all of the stuff that wasn't
exactly.
Really
but they made the horrible
job. I don't really know
job.
anything about Borderlands, so I can't really comment on that side of it.
Yeah. But Tales from the Borderlands, which is a Telltale game, it was pretty good and it had a pretty good story. This shit is awful, like, you know, so there could be a good story here, I guess, in any piece of media, right? But it
feels like they wanted a bit of a Guardians of the Galaxy found family vibe. It doesn't really work because there's not very good chemistry between any of the characters.
Mm-hmm.
They're all just kind of like very bland, and not doing a very good job of selling any of their relationships. I don't think it was particularly well cast.
Yeah.
Everybody looks like they're cosplaying. It doesn't feel natural, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
It feels like a very expensive movie. Like, there's lots of sets and practical stuff, costumes, weapons, all that stuff. So the outcome is just very bad, man.
I guess that's why it was stuck in development hell for so long, is that they were hoping that maybe we can kind of salvage this and get some of our money back. But I don't think they got any money back. I think they sunk more money by doing that than just by scrapping this, you know?
It was a real flop. And it doesn't help that I think generally Borderlands does not, have a lot of, it has very low stock at the moment. I think generally people are kind of like...
over it a little bit.
We don't like Gearbox, and Borderlands is kind of annoying.
Yeah, like the newer games have not really stuck as much. Like
remember how they announced Borderlands 4 like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, nobody gave a fuck. Like
nobody cares.
Yeah, nobody.
It didn't seem like anybody cared.
And it seemed like that trailer was very much kind of like, I think you said it. It was like, it does seem like it was something that they just kind of put in there after the movie came out, so that people go like, the hype, you know, they were hoping that there would be a hype after the movie, and then no.
Especially seeing as the trailer was like, it doesn't feel like Borderlands until the very end when they pick up the mask and it's the psycho mask, and it's like, oh, it's Borderlands 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Exactly. So it's like, yeah, bad movie. Don't watch it. Like, horribly.
Who would have thought?
Stupid and
I know
like,
you're probably
waste of
thinking,
time.
but all those people said that movie's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you're wrong. Dead Ensigns is coming at you with the only true take. It's bad. You probably didn't hear, but this movie's bad.
Yeah, I don't know. Jack Black as Claptrap. I don't know.
It all just kind of sucked. It's like, Really, Kevin Hart?
Yeah, Kevin Hart
really,
is...
Kate Blanchett?
And they have Kevin Hart, of course,
Jamie
make a
Lee
joke
Curtis?
about how short he is,
That's his shtick, that's his thing.
I know, but it's like, yeah, whatever.
Don't begrudge a man his shtick.
I guess, true,
Let him embrace it.
Let him embrace
Eli
it.
Roth's shtick is making bad movies. And yet we're not here like, another bad movie by Eli. Well, we kind of are, but we don't begrudge him for continuing to make bad movies. We just say, man, this movie was bad again. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
But I suppose there's a little bit of heart to it, to the found family aspect. It feels very corny. It's interesting. It has, similar to what we were talking about last week, it has the thing where it's like, it's a violent children's film at the end of the day.
Yes.
There's not really anything here that will make you think too hard or engage any sort of like major brain activity. It's just lots of violence and swearing and a really basic, simple found family plot. It's not good. Who would have thought? Let's move on. Trap.
Yeah, that's Trap.
M. Night Shyamalan's Trap.
The more I think about this movie, the more the less I like it. Honestly.
Oh, really? I enjoy it. There's a bit of a bit in the last act that sticks for me. I think generally, the all of the stuff with M. Night Shyamalan's Child kind of hit too hard in nepotism for me.
Yeah,
but
true.
All of the stuff with Josh Hartnett is very good.
The thing that really spoils this movie for me a little bit is because I've watched the trailer.
Should we say spoilers? Should we say spoilers for this?
Oh yes, spoiler for Trap.
Because we know how M. Night Shyamalan likes putting in twists and turns to keep people guessing.
Yeah, this one doesn't really have that many twists and turns. Like, it's like different twists and turns, honestly. But whatever, doesn't matter. But yeah, this is like watching the trailer and kind of seeing like what happens, like all the kind of situations he kind of uses and abuses, to kind of get out of being caught, the main character.
Yeah.
Most of them were in the trailer. And I was like, I was like very confused. I was hoping he would. I get that he's like, he's doing all the like avoidance stuff, but I feel like a lot of it's like genuinely don't watch the trailer if you're gonna watch this movie.
It was sort of similar. I don't have the same thing where it's like, oh, all of this stuff was in the trailer, so it lessens it for me. I'm fine with it being like, hey, I remember seeing this in the trailer.
What?
Like, give me a second. I'm not finished. Sorry, I was just going to say.
Because all of it is in the trailers,
Yeah, but again, I'm saying that for me, that doesn't bother me. What was more surprising was how much of the movie wasn't in the stadium and stuff.
Yeah, true. Yeah, because
it was like they leave the stadium like sort of a little over halfway through the movie,
Yeah.
And then the rest of it is outside Josh Hartnett trying to like escape essentially. And it's like, I wasn't expecting that. I thought it was going to be entirely Josh Hartnett trying to get out of the stadium, but then he gets out of the stadium and they know who he is, and then he's trying to like leave.
Yeah.
He's trying to get away from the law for the rest of it, which was surprising for me. But personally, I don't know, stuff being in the trailer, so much of stuff that you want to see being in the trailer than being in the movie, I'm still like, whatever, It's
I guess. It's just that, like, I was hoping to just see him do more of those things, basically. And
I guess I didn't watch the trailer, so I can't really say. Maybe I would feel the same way if I watched the trailer.
Overall, when he does the one where he pushes the woman down the stairs, and then he does the one where it's the hot oil, right? That's and those both are in the trailer, and then he kind of doesn't do those anymore. Like those sort of like distractions, when he tries to like. And another thing that is kind of like we don't have like, especially from the beginning of the movie, we don't really have a. He's like an antagonist, right, in this film, kind of, right? But we don't really have someone chasing him in a way. We don't there isn't a personality chasing him in a way. We have the old woman, but we don't really know who she is. We don't know why. Like, it's, I don't know. It's just
she's a master profiler.
profiler, right? And that's it.
And then you
that's
also
the only
have
thing
because you also have M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, the Taylor Swift Lady Raven character.
And
she's also supposed to be the other personality because she's very altruistic. She's like dedicated to the idea that if I can put my fame to use doing something like this, then it's worth it,
Yeah.
But then she doesn't really have anything else going on, and she just kind of leaves the movie at a certain point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just like
that's the main thing that sticks with me is that M. Night Shyamalan's daughter feels like she just kind of like is really good in this film. She like. He's like, he uses her to escape in the limo, but then she's like, I'm gonna keep throwing myself in danger to catch this guy.
Yeah.
But then she's able to get out of the danger very, very easily.
Yeah, very easily. Like
she gets abducted by him in her limo, and they're driving around, and he handcuffs her to a thing, but then she just kind of breaks the bar and leaves. And then she's not in the rest of the film, and it's like, all right.
I remember I laughed
Good for
so
her,
much
I guess.
when she opens the window and she goes, help.
She's trying. There's a bit when he drives down a crowded street and everybody's crowding around the limo because it's a limo. Everybody's like, well, who's this in this limo? And she's trying to press the window down button on the door to try and get it. She eventually does. And before he can bring it up, she just goes, help me. And then the window goes back up. It's like... She's not great in this film, and she's a big part of the film. And there's a bit where she uses Instagram Live to like find one of his Josh Hartnett's kidnapped victims.
Yeah, she's trying to do like crowd information warfare, basically.
She's trying to. She has info, and she needs somebody to go and save him because she's in a bathroom taking his phone from him, so she can try and stop him from killing this guy.
Yeah.
She goes on Instagram Live and she's like, hello, Raven Nation. It's me, Lady Raven. Does anybody live near a lion statue with a broken ear?
And a blue door.
And then one person is like, I live near there. And then she's like, go to a house with a blue door. Get an adult and save the person who's kidnapped there.
Yeah.
And then they do. And it's like...
And they do it.
Okay. Well, all right, I guess. I was like, I was okay with it because it's like, whatever. You put your daughter in the film as like like a plot important thing, like she's a Taylor Swift type person. I was like, whatever. Okay, the concert, it's her concert. She sings and stuff. Whatever. You're trying to show off your daughter's talents a bit, but the fact that it then becomes like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna save the person, and I'm gonna throw myself into mortal danger with this horrible serial killer, and hopefully, even if I get hurt, at least I've done the right thing. That it relies more on her ability to act, and she's not great.
Yeah, she's not great, and there's all
and
like
also it feels
like
and it feels like M. Night Shyamalan has some trepidations with like actually putting her in danger in the narrative.
Yeah, she's
just kind of like...
She composed the music, and she sang the music too for this.
So she was the person.
It's cool. It's cool. I appreciate that.
She's got a nice voice, I guess, yeah.
Nice voice, and that she was able to do this for like... Because she wrote like couple of songs. Like it's a concert. Yeah. Like that's the thing about this movie, that you do literally go through like a concert length, like experience, I guess, because she has to go through multiple songs throughout the entire thing.
And I like the main dynamic of him trying to escape this place, but also really trying to give his daughter like a nice day. At this concert. That all that stuff works really well. It's just the last third or so kind of loses it for me, where it's all about he's already been caught and now he's trying to escape, and it feels like there's a lot of setup for like a Glass 2 or whatever,
Yeah, like that's the thing, that especially with the ending, it does very much feel like it's just going to be one of his movies of the series of like the pseudo superheroes he has, or like super villains,
his weird, really powerful characters that are really strong and smart and it's just like they're just but it's like
whatever. It's like the more like that, as I was saying, I just wanted him to do more of like the Hitman-esque stuff, you know, in this. That's what I was kind of disappointed in this movie. I wanted him to literally
In that case, I agree. I would have liked more of that stuff, but mostly just because I wanted more of the stadium father-daughter stuff.
True. And I wanted more of the guy. The actor was, what's he called? I don't know. He was pretty good. Like
he's awesome as like a weird killer.
Like a weird killer.
It's great in this film.
Yeah, it was all right until the last quarter of the movie or something. Like that.
Yeah. Right. I give it a thumbs up though. I'd say it's entertaining enough either way.
Yeah, I guess I watch it. Why not?
And if you're inclined to enjoy Shyamalan films, because this is definitely Shyamalan's very divisive, you know. At the end of the day,
I guess
this is the kind of film where it's like if you already know you don't like the kind of movies Shyamalan makes or the way he makes movies, probably don't check it out. You probably won't enjoy it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But if you're like, I'm partial to a Shyamalan film, you'll probably like Trap. You'd probably enjoy Trap.
Yeah.
He's an acquired taste. He's a very acquired taste director.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm fully acquired on his taste, but I do like some stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I just feel like it's just whatever. Let's move on from this because I'm also going to go start ranting about this.
Sure.
But yeah, what else have we watched?
I made you watch Patlabor.
But we also watched Baba Hotep before that.
Baba Hotep before that. I forgot about Baba Hotep.
You forgot about... How could have you forgotten about Baba Hotep?
Weirdly dour film.
Weirdly dour. It's
like Elvis and Kennedy in an old folks' home try and fight a mummy, and you're like, "Oh, that sounds wacky." Bruce Campbell, sign me up. And then it's like all about how sad it is to like get old and nobody cares about you.
Yeah, literally, yeah, it's
and
about
you're like,
how,
yeah, okay, geez.
Like your kids don't care about you. People kind of hate that they have to interact with you. Even
people resent you. People resent you, and they don't understand how much good you do secretly. Yeah, because at the end, nobody will know that he fought and killed the mummy to save everybody. He
killed the mummy, yeah. But yeah, it's just very weird. Like I said, I was talking to you and I was like, it seems like this is a movie. It's based on a book. That's the thing that surprised me.
Sure.
But like, it felt like it was like, oh, this is a story that like, they were like, oh, we want to make this story about Elvis actually is alive.
Yeah.
And he just grew old.
What if Elvis swapped places with like an impersonator?
Yeah. And he was still alive, but he was just kind of poor and grew old and, you know, going from that high to that low, you know, of being unable to take care of yourself and, you know, having to rely on people, you know, and then, you know, but then they were like, but can you like put in something else in this movie? It's like, I don't know, put a mummy in here, you know, and I guess, you know, it would be a horror, although it's not very scary, you know.
It's very all over I can see where this movie kind of is just forgotten to time.
Yeah.
I'd always seen it a little bit because I like Bruce Campbell. I'm an Evil Dead guy. I like Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, Bruce Campbell as Elvis? That's fun. I'll have to check that out someday, and then now that I finally have, I can say, man, that was kind of a bad movie. This wasn't very interesting, ultimately. It's weirdly dour.
Mm-hmm.
It tries to be, like, very pulpy and fun, but it never really is. Like, there's a lot of stuff with his dick. He can't get his dick hard. Yeah, it's got a growth on it.
But it's, like, sad. Like,
yeah, it's like,
it's cancer
it's the kind of thing that's written into a film to be, like, you know, kind of childish and funny way to express like the character's growth and learning to like love life again. Because when he starts able to like get an erection again is when he has like, when he's focused on this mummy, he's starting to, you know, have something to do, something to
a purpose,
like, be
a task.
Engaged in, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, yeah, it's depressing. They talk about how he's got dick cancer essentially, and it's not really funny. It's just kind of like, I'm dying because I've got cancer on my penis, and they're not telling me about it. And it's like,
and then Christ, at the end, they defeat the mummy, and he just lies down and dies, you know?
Yeah,
And then it cuts to black.
I'll be honest, I was just falling asleep at the end.
I know. I saw you falling asleep. And
I was just out. I was trying to listen in, but I was like, I don't know what's going on, and I don't want to open my eyes. So, yeah, and then I saw the very ending where he's laying on the ground looking at the stars, and then he dies.
That's it.
It's like, all right, Bubba Hotep.
Bubba Hotep.
Bubba Hotep.
And I'm still not sure if it was a mummy of a Hotep dynasty, or was it a fucking
They
guy
said it was
that was
Tutankhamun's like nephew or something.
Yeah, but the body was wearing like cowboy outfit, like a modern cowboy outfit, and that's what throws me off.
He was in the Texas.
What?
It takes place in East Texas.
So they dressed him up? I don't know. All right, it doesn't matter. Let's not try to make sense of it. But after this, we watched something good, because you gotta dose all this stuff correctly. We watched Pat Labor, which is it was the movie, right? The first movie.
Mm-hmm, the first Pat Labor movie. It's a good movie. I've talked about it before, I think.
Mechs and stuff.
Labels.
It was cool. It was cool. It was interesting. It was did give me a bit of a Snow Crash sort of vibe of like a guy through software he fucks with people.
And it came out before Snow Crash.
Oh, did it? Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
But this movie came out in like 91.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, so it's like the thing about it is that it's like people, you know,
because
a lot of programmers do, as we can see, you know, from our modern world, a lot of people that make software have a god complex because because what they don't realize, they think they're smart, but in reality, people just go like, I can't decompile your code. I can't see into it. Like, you know, it would take me so much time.
I think that's fair to say, because you look at like Silicon Valley trying to reinvent all of the basic shit we have. Like, we can make this better.
Mm-hmm.
We can make this better.
Yeah.
Uber for groceries.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, you know, it is literally something that's just been seen, you know, through the ages, and it seems to be that it's not changing. But yeah, it was nice. Really, like, I don't have much to say about it, honestly, but
it's a cool movie.
It's a mecha movie.
Yep.
Cool. I haven't seen. Maybe I'll watch. Maybe I'll give it a watch. I'll try. Maybe, but I have so much other stuff.
I'd say
that
check out
watch.
The second movie for sure.
Yeah,
Palatable 2 is a fantastic movie.
But it was
brilliant stuff.
Brilliant stuff.
And it's much slower. It's very much like a lot less like about the mechs and more about society in Japan at the time. You know, it's good. It's good. It's about war. It's about justice, I suppose. But yeah, no, Pat Labor 1. Then you played a game for a bit. Then we watched Dead Leaves, another anime thing. I hadn't seen it before. Directed by the guy that directed Gurren Lagann and Panty and Stocking and Kill la Kill and all that stuff. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But that was cool. It was cool.
Yeah, it was like a short film, right? It was like 55 minutes or something like that. So
it was good. Dead Leaves.
It was just like a visual kind of overload sort of thing.
Very
but
nice
yeah,
animation and everything.
Nice animation, weird world that you can kind of, you know, you don't understand. You know, it's like weird characters, strangely sexual. On top of that, you know, there's a guy who has a penis. That's a drill, you know.
Yep.
And then that idea turned into Gurren Lagann, I guess, right?
Yeah.
The penis spiral.
But yeah, we watched that, and then we watched Doll Man. We just watched a load of crap films. I don't know what I can say about Doll Man. It was a crap early 90s, late 80s sci-fi film.
Yeah. It was about a guy who's an
alien who's a small guy.
Yeah, he
comes from a planet where people are like 12 inches tall.
They're size of an action figure, basically. Yeah. And he crashes on Earth because he's chasing a criminal from his planet, and they're both tiny.
Past.
Exactly. And the movie is about, I don't know, like cleaning up like bad areas or something. Or you gotta do violence onto gangs.
It's
I
set
think
in the South Bronx, where everything is falling apart and everything's ran by gangs,
sucks.
and it sucks. It's terrible. And he comes and I guess it's like you gotta kill the gang members to clean up the streets.
Yeah, honestly, because it's like it makes all the villains like there's the main kind of like bad guy. And he's just like, his motivation is like, I just want to kill people. Like, it's respect or something. It's chaos. Like, I want to, literally, he's like Joker, right? He's just like a chaotic entity,
at the end,
right?
He's talking about how it's like, it's the man's fault. They don't care about us.
Yeah.
But ultimately, the doll man himself just kind of shoots everybody and kills them.
Shoots him, yeah, exactly.
They kidnap the main lady, and then the doll man goes and saves her and kills everybody.
Yeah, and the biggest thing that like I was like, it's just so. It's just all over the place. This movie, there's like entire plot line where the bad guy that lands like crashes with him, he's got like a bomb. And he says, "Oh, everything's gonna get destroyed within like 3 parsecs or some shit," you know. And it's like a huge, stellar distance. You know, it's a fucking so great distance. You know, destroyed the fucking solar system. You know, and then the guy uses the bomb, the bad guy, and it's like it blows up a house. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? It was like this. It was just like a huge point to the fact that he was like, yeah, this is gonna be like a world-destroying event, and then they just forget about it, you know. They just like completely
movie, but
nobody's
talking about Doll Man nowadays.
Very much the interesting thing that I wanted to see definitely was how they're gonna do the little tiny guy, and they just did a very poor blue screen, I guess, at this point. Horrible.
It's edited in really small, or they just use like a little, probably like a G.I. Joe or something.
Yeah.
Dress him up like the guy and attach him to places.
Yeah. Like he's like so far away. Like he's so far you can only see his silhouette, and he was supposed to be him. But yeah, it's a garbage sci-fi. Yep. But yeah, he's supposed to be like Dirty Harry. I guess he's got the most powerful gun in the galaxy, and
so
that's
guess
what makes it special.
I guess your takeaway to this should be: don't watch any of the movies we mentioned. Watch Tulsa King Season 2, Episode 1.
True.
Now on Paramount Plus, streaming. And the second episode is going to be on Sunday.
And that's the thing. All of the people that are listening to this already have Paramount Plus because they watch Star Trek. So you have no excuse to not watch Tulsa King.
You'll
check.
You probably saw the end of Discovery and you were like, well, there's nothing else on Paramount Plus. So I'll just cancel this subscription. Start it back up. Tulsa King's out.
Yeah. Post us a picture of you...
activating Paramount Plus.
Paramount Plus. And, like when you get the little preview and it has the bar filled that you watched the movie. Yeah. That's what we want to see, with the episode.
And a thumbs up and a little piece of paper that says your username, because we don't want anybody taking somebody else doing this online.
And the newspaper from the day. And the newspaper
from the day, little piece of paper with your username on it.
Exactly.
And thumbs up to show how much you love Tulsa King.
You love Tulsa King. But yeah, my next cosplay, I'm gonna wear like a big foam like suit, so I'm bigger stilts, so I'm even taller, and a big suit, and I'm gonna become the Tulsa King. All
right.
That's my next one.
Well, look forward next week when Max is dressed as Tulsa King doing Dead Ensigns. We talked about Tulsa King, and we're going to talk about it next week. And for the next 9 weeks, it's going to be Tulsa King.
A bonanza. Tulsa bonanza. Yeah.
Dwight is back. The General. Manfredi. He's here. But until then, you can find us on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, anywhere podcasts are. But we're also on YouTube. You can leave a comment. If you want, you can subscribe. Subscribe anywhere, though. Anywhere that we exist, subscribe. And give us a rating. And you can also email us, as I said earlier, deadensigns@gmail.com. Let us know what you thought of Tulsa King, or Doll Man, or whatever the fucking crap you watched. I don't know. It's up to you. It's your life. Bye.
Yay. Bye.
It's shorted out, sir. We're gonna have to phaser it.
Then what are you waiting for?
Right away, sir.
Faster would be better, Ensign.
I can't, sir. We don't want to...
That's enough.
But, sir...
Stand aside, Carlton. I'm going through.
You're alive. Good.